Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Learning Arabic. Firstly, I am reviewing the previous lesson, and that was 4 forms of Arabic alphabet. There are 4 forms for Arabic alphabet, and that is called, the first one is called isolated form. 4 forms of Arabic alphabet for Arabic letter. Okay, the first form is called isolated form. Isolated form means the form of a letter which is separate from other letter. Is there any connection before or after ba? No, there is no connection before or after the ba. That is why the form of ba, in this case the form of ba is called isolated form. Isolated form means without any connection before or after the letter. Okay, here the form of ba is called isolated form. And the second form is called initial form. If a letter is at the beginning of a word, then the form of the letter will be called initial form. If there is a letter at the beginning of a word, then the letter is called initial form. The form of letter is called initial form. Suppose here I have written batta. Ba is the first letter of the word batta. That is why the form of ba is called initial form. You have already seen that I have written ba not fully. Rather, I have written ba first half. And the first half of this letter represents the letter ba, represents the full ba. That is same. Writing fully and writing the first half of a letter at the beginning of a word, that is same. Okay, both are same. At this time, when we write ba at the beginning of a word, then we have to follow the initial form. The initial form means at the beginning of a word. The form at the beginning of a word, that is called initial form. If we want to write ba at the beginning of a word, then we have to write ba like this. We are not allowed to write ba fully. We are not allowed to write ba fully like this. Okay? Rather, we have to write ba like this way. That is why the form of writing ba is called initial form. In this case, the form of writing ba is called initial form. Okay? Then we are moving on the third form of Arabic letter, and that is called medial form. Medial means, medial represents the middle place of a word. Okay, if we want to write a letter at the middle of a word, then we have to follow the medial form of that letter. We have to follow the medial form of that letter. Then we have to know how to write when we want to write a letter at the middle of a word. Here, ba has been written at the middle of the word hablun, hablun. Ba has been written at the middle of the word hablun. That is why we have already followed ba, the way of writing ba, as medial form. Okay? We are not allowed to write ba fully when we are going to write ba at the middle of a word. That is not allowed, because if we write ba fully at the middle of a word, the word will be seen very bad. That is why we have to follow how to write a letter when it will be written at the middle of a word. Like this way. If we want to write ba at the middle of the word habelun, then we have to write ba the first half of ba. The first half of ba, and the nokta will be under this letter. The nokta represents that is ba. Okay? Then what we have got? We have got that ba is the medial form of this word, as ba has been written at the middle of this word. That is why ba is the medial form. The form of ba is called the medial form. Okay? Now we are moving on the last form of Arabic alphabet, and that is called final form. What is called final form? If we write a letter at the end of a word, if we write a letter at the end of a word, then the form of the letter will be called final form. Then we have to follow the letter fully, but there will be a joint before the letter. There will be a joining, a connection before the letter, because the letter is last letter. That is why there will be a connection before the letter. Here you have already seen that lam is ba has been written with the connection of lam. Ba has been written with the connection of lam. That is why ba is the last letter and lam is the medial letter. Okay? The form of ba in this case, the form of ba is called final form, because ba has been written at the last of a word. That is why the form of ba is called final form. Got the point? If you want to write a letter at the end of a word, then that letter will be the final letter, and the form of that letter will be the final form. Okay? In this word, the form of ba is the final form of ba. Okay? Ba is in the final form. Here, ba has been written in the final form. Okay? Now, we are talking about, we will start another topic, and that is how to write Arabic alphabet. We are going to start writing every Arabic letter. We can start from Alif. How Alif will be written. Okay? How to write Alif. You see here, Alif is the vertical stick, as like a vertical stick. From up to down, you have to write from up to down. Okay, like this. From up to down, it will be Alif. Okay? And how to write ba? From the margin, a little bit upper from the margin, ba will be started. Like this. Then, when you reach at the margin, you have to follow the margin. From right side to left side. Then, you have to write it a little bit upper, and that is finished. You have to put a nokta below the ba. Then ba has been written successfully. Okay? You have to start a little bit upper from the margin. Here is the starting point. Okay? From here you have to write ba like this way. A little bit down, then following the margin, it will be written from right to left, then it will be a little bit up. Okay? And finally you have to put a nokta below the body. Then finally we have written ba. Okay, ta and tha is the same as like ba. Difference is only the nukta. Okay, we are writing ta like the same way. Then you have to put two nuktas above the body. Then it will be ta. If you want to write tha, the body is same. From a little bit upper, you have to reach the margin. Then when you reach the margin, you have to follow the margin from right side to left side. Then you have to write a little bit upper. Okay. Then it will be ta. If you put three nuktas above, then it will be tha. Okay. Now let's concentrate on the writings. I have written 4 letters without any connection before or after the letter. Here Alif has been written without any connection, before Alif or after Alif, without no connection, without connection. There is no connection with Alif before or after the Alif. That is why Alif is called isolated form. The form of Alif is called isolated form. Similarly, I have written ba without any connection. Before ba, there is no connection before ba, and there is also no connection after the ba. That is why ba is also in an isolated form. Ba is also in an isolated form. Similarly, ta is also in an isolated form. Okay? Tha is also in an isolated form. There is no connection before tha or after tha. Ba has been written here separately without any connection. That is why the form of tha is called isolated form. Got the point? Now let's see what will be the form of ba when we want to write ba at the beginning of a word. Suppose we are writing batta, ba, to, and ta, batta. I have written ba here, the first half of ba, the first half of ba, the first half of ba, and put the nukta of ba below the writing, below the body. Okay? Here this letter represents the real ba. Here this letter represents the real ba. This is ba, but why we have to call this letter also ba? Because if we want to write ba at the beginning of a word, then we have to skip some body part. We have to give up some part of the full letter. Okay? Then we have already been given up the last half of ba, and we have kept the first half of ba like this. This is ba. When it will be written at the beginning of a word, the starting of a word, then we have to write ba like this. We have to write ba like this. Because if you want to write ba fully at the beginning of a word, then the word looks very, very bad. That is why we have to follow the rules of writing a letter. Okay? At the beginning, ba, ta and tha will be same, because the body of ba and ta and tha are same. That is why the writing method of these three letters are same. Okay, as the body of these three letters are same, the writing method of these three letters are also same. Got the point? We have to follow the writing method of ta as like ba, like this. If we want to write ta at the beginning of a word, then we have to write ta like this, same as ba, and we have to put the nokta, two noktas of ta at the above of the letter, two noktas, then it will be called ta. Similarly, if we want to write tha, then we have to follow like this. At first we will write the first half of tha like this. We have already written, and we have to put three noktas of tha at the above. Okay, then it is tha. It is called tha. When will we write it? If we want to write ba, ta or tha at the beginning of a word, then we have to follow this method. We have to follow this form of ba, ta and tha. And the form is called initial form. And the form is called initial form. The form which will be used at the beginning of a word, the form is called initial form. And ba, ta and tha is in the initial form. Here ba, ta and tha has been written in an initial form. Okay, as like batta. See here, ba is the first letter of the word batta. That is why ba has been written here like this way. Okay, and if you want to write a word starting with ta, then what will be the word? Okay, suppose we are writing tufah. Tufah. Okay, see here. Ta is the first letter. Ta is the first letter of the word tufah. That is why ta has been written here, the first half, following the formation rules of writing letter. Okay, and what is the rule? The initial form of ba, ta and tha will be the first half, and nokta will be given accordingly. Okay, ba has only one nokta at the below the body. Okay, and ta has two noktas above the body, and tha has three noktas above the body. Okay, ta has two noktas, ba has one nokta, like this. And ta has been written here the first half of body, like this, and then the two noktas will be written here accordingly. Okay, ta is from here to here. Ta ends here, and after that fa has been written here, fa, and nokta of fa is given above. Okay, that is tufa. Ta has been written at the beginning of the word tufa. And if we want to write ta at the beginning of a word, then how to write ta? See here, ta for ta'lam, ta labun, that is tha. At the beginning of the word ta'lab, I have written tha. That is why tha is in an initial form. That is why tha is in an initial form. What is the initial form? The first half of the letter is the initial form. Okay, this one, from here to here, that is the first half of the body. Then we have to follow the first half of a body if we want to write a letter at the beginning of a word, like this. Okay, tha is starts. Tha starts from here and ends here. And the three noktas of tha will be given above this head. Okay? 1, 2 and 3. That is tha. At the time of writing tha at the beginning, we have to follow the initial form of writing tha, and this one is called initial form. This form is called initial form. Okay? Okay. Then we have already known that how to write ba, ta and tha in an isolated form, and also we have known that how to write ba, ta and tha in an isolated form. Okay. We have also known that the writing method of ba is same as ta and tha. The way we write ba at the beginning of a word, the same way we have to follow when we write ta, because the body of ba, ta and tha are same. That is why the writing method of ba, ta and tha will also be same. Okay? And we are moving on the third form of ba, ta and tha. What is the third form of ba, ta and tha? And what is the name? The name of third form is medial form. At the middle of a word is called medial form. The form at the middle of a word is called medial form. How to write ba, ta and tha? When we want to write ba, ta and tha at the middle of a word, then how to write it? Okay, let's see. Suppose I am writing habelun. Ha, ba and lam. See here. This one is the first form of ha. If we want to write ha fully, then we have to write it like this. We have to write it like this. Then it will be very bad. Avoiding this last half, if we write ha, it will be very nice for looking. Okay? That is why we have to give up the last writing format. We have to give up the last half of writing ha. We have already avoided it. Then ha is nice, looking nice. Okay? Then come to the point. We have written ba. Ba has been started from here. This is the head of ba. Okay? From here, from up to down a little bit, then from right side to left side. Ba starts from here and ends to here. Okay? And the nokta of ba will be written here. Ha ba jabar hab. Ha ba jabar hab. Lam dui pesh lun. Habelun. Okay. I am writing here freshly. Habelun. See here how I have written ba. How I have written ba. Ba is at the middle of the word habelun. That is why I have written ba like this. Same as the initial form. What is the difference between initial form of ba and the medial form of ba? Very simple. The difference is the middle form of ba will be written with a connection, with two connections. Before ba there will be a connection before ba, and there will also be another connection after ba, like this. Before ba there will be a letter. There is a letter before ba, and that is habelun, ha. That is ha. And after ba there is also a connection, and that is lam, with lam. That is why ba, the form of ba is called medial form, because ba has been written at the middle of the word habelun. And in the other hand, if we write ba at the beginning of a word as like batta, then we will see that there is no connection before ba, because ba is the first letter of the word. That is why ba only have one connection, and that is after ba. Before ba there will never be connection when it is the beginning form, when it is the initial form. Okay? But if you want to write ba at the middle of a word, then there will be two connections, before ba and after ba. I have written here. Ba has two connections, with ha and with lam. That is why the form of ba is called medial form. If ba has two connections, before and after ba, then it will be called, the form will be called the medial form. Okay? Like this. Habelun, ba is at the middle of the word habelun, that is why ba is called medial form. And we have already known that how to write ba when it will be written at the middle of a word, as the same way like initial form. There will be only a difference, and that is the joining part with the beginning letter, with the first letter. Okay? Ha, this is a connection with ba. Ha and ba are connected, and ba is here. That is the nokta of ba, and at the end lam has been written. Here ba is in the medial form. Ba is in the medial form. Okay? The form of ba is called medial. Okay? Then how to write ba when it will be at the end of a word? If we want to write ba at the end of a word, then the form of ba will be called final form. Final form. How to write ba when it will be written at the end of a word? Okay? Suppose I am writing qalbun of lam and ba. See, ba has been written fully as like the isolated form, but there is only a difference between isolated form and the final form, and that is the connection. In isolated form there is no connection before or after the letter, but two noktas of okay, come to the point. In the isolated form, there is no connection before or after the letter ba. That is why ba is called isolated form. But in the final form, there is a connection with ba, and that is the before ba. The ba will be connected with the letter before it. With the letter before it. Ba will be connected with the letter before it. Here qalbun, lam is the connecting letter with ba. Ba is connected with lam. That is why ba is the last letter. Here ba has been written at the end of the word qalbun. That is why the form of ba is called final form. Got the point? And ba will be written fully. I am giving you a trick. If you want to write a letter at the end of a word, then you have to write the full form of that letter, and that will be called the final form. That means the final form of a letter will be full. and the isolated form of a letter will also be full. Got the point? The isolated form of a letter and the final form of a letter will be written fully, will be written the whole body. But in the initial form and in the medial form, any letter will be written, most of the letter, not every letter, most of the letter will be written the first half. The first half of the body, of the main body, will be written the first half. When at the time of writing a letter initially and in the medial form, in an initial form and in the middle form, it will be written, most of the letter will be written the first half. There will be some difference for some letters, okay? We will discuss it later, one by one. Okay, come to the point. Here ba has been written finally at the end of a word, and that is kolbon. That is why ba has been written fully, but there is a connection with ba. Ba is connected with lam. That is why the form of ba is called final form. Okay, got the point? For today, our lesson is complete. See you next time. Practice it at home more and more times. How to write ba, ta and tha when it is written at the beginning of a word, at the middle of a word, at the end of a word, and when it is written in an isolated form without any connection. See you next time. Allah Hafiz.